Thanks for staying tuned to your station, the Independent Television, and welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa. Every week, we bring you information you need to keep your life safe and secure. Only on this channel and on this program, you get that information. Thanks for staying tuned. Today is another exciting day, and we really need to look at issues that affect the security of you and I, our continent, Africa, and Nigeria particularly. The last 2 weeks, we've been away concerning our 16th Africa Security Watch Awards Conference and Exhibition that held in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. But a lot of security issues agitated our attention. There seems to be increase in attacks coming up recently, and we want to join the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, and all well-wishers to call on security agencies to quickly make sure that these bandits, criminals, kidnappers, or whatever they are, armed robbers, do not keep on harassing innocent Nigerians in any part of the country in Nigeria. Sadly, during the week also, there was attack in Zamfara State. There have been some attack in some other places, some robbery attacks that came up. What would have been a disturbing robbery attack in Lagos State was actually aborted because the police rose up to the task, and it wasn't a success. We want to call on all security agencies to please, as we go into the Yuletide celebrations, you redouble your effort. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed Abubakar Demu, had actually given a marching order to his officers concerning that. This episode of this program will be taking you to Dubai, where we held our annual conference and award ceremony. But before then, let's go to the Nigerian Army. And there seems to be some kind of move made by the leadership of the Nigerian Army, led by Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, to ensure that its personnel are happy in doing their work, happy in the service, and happy even after service, and that their families are in one piece and in comfortable condition. Sit back as we bring you this report on the Barrack Investment Initiative Program initiated by the Chief of Army Staff.
The Nigerian Army, under the leadership of Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, as the Chief of Army Staff, has taken the welfare of officers and soldiers as topmost priority. This, he says, will serve as a motivating factor for his men to always ensure the protection of Nigeria's territorial integrity and internal security, and for the realization of his vision of having a professionally responsive Nigerian Army in the discharge of its constitutional role. This also extends to the welfare and living standards of families of living, retired, and even deceased officers and soldiers. Lieutenant General Buratai, in 2017, introduced the Barrack Investment Initiative Program, BIIP, targeted at empowering serving officers, soldiers, and their families, which has greatly impacted positively on the well-being of his soldiers. Families of officers and soldiers now engage in activities that has improved their living standards through training programs, which include acquisition of various skills and agriculture. A visit to 3 divisions of Nigerian Army in Jos Plateau State shows the transformation agenda of Lieutenant General Buratai-led Nigerian Army aimed at securing the future of the families of his officers and soldiers.
You could actually see the zeal for them to learn, and they will be on their own. That is all part of the Nigerian Army Barrack Investment Initiative Program. It's a fantastic program so that we can get our young ones out of the... some of our widows are there, those who lost their husbands in the fight against Boko Haram are there, so that they will now be able to fend for themselves. That is the way the Army is looking after them for their services of their husbands.
The Barrack Investment Initiative Program, BIIP, was also designed for officers and soldiers still in service who are willing to venture into agriculture like livestock farming, animal husbandry, produce farming, as a way of adding to their income and also to secure their financial base even after retirement. The 8th Division of Nigerian Army Sokoto is a good example of the benefit of the Barrack Investment Initiative program. We were shown cows owned by officers and soldiers as a pilot of the program. This, we were told, has greatly motivated officers and soldiers to go into livestock business, which will eventually serve as a retirement plan.
It is an investment initiative program introduced by the Chief Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai. Before his ascension to the office of Chief Army Staff, there was no deliberate, let me say, deliberate effort to bring officers awareness, officers and personnel and soldiers awareness into the need for you to look. Even when you are doing soldiering, you can still do investment. And the investment in what field? There are agreeable, constitutionally approved ways soldiers and the civil servant can do business. That is in the field of agriculture particularly. And that's why Barrack Investment Initiative was mainly, if you go across Nigeria, across all barracks, I know in Bori camp, when you go, you see hundreds of cows. All these cows you see belongs to soldiers and officers. It is nothing more than aiming at telling even the world that, look, what we do in the barracks is more than just sitting down soldiering. We are not sitting down just relying on salaries, relying on allowances that come. Soldiers are into farming, even within the barracks. Animal husbandry, poultry, piggery, fisheries. And you can see a typical examples. These cows you see, they are even foreign breed cows here. If you can look there, you see foreign breed cows. And this is initiative of current Army staff wanting officers to at least plan your life. Have something doing, not until you leave the service and you just begin with your pension and gratuity. You need to have something at the background. So when you leave service, you have a skill. Whoever owns 5, General Olota started here with 4, and now they are over 50. And the many other soldiers have their own. Officers that have served here, they have left behind their cows. Whenever it is time for you, I tell you, some of these cows are source of livelihood of some families. Soldiers have children in also good private schools where they sell cow, pay children's school fees, reinvest again. That is the whole essence of barracks investment initiatives.
This initiative by the Chief of Army Staff aimed at giving hope to families of deceased officers and soldiers, making them financially independent. This, many have said, will motivate even those living to serve their fatherland with all their might and strength. Ernest Enuniku, Security Watch Africa, Sokoto.
You agree with me that that is a deliberate policy and action by the Army leadership to ensure that these personnel are happy and their families are comfortable. We must commend the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai, for that initiative and for his officers to following suit and ensuring that soldiers and officers have an alternative source of income in support of their salaries and their allowances. Yes, during the week also, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Emir Adamu, did decorated the recently promoted officers from commissioners of police promoted to assistant inspector generals of police. There at the occasion, he charged officers to redouble their efforts because now to whom much is given, much is expected. With new rank, new promotion, then there's much that is expected from you. We must congratulate some of these officers, particularly now AIG Dammalam Mohammed, AIG Zubairu Muazu, AIG Zaki Ahmed, AIG Ilyasu, so many of them that are associates of Security Watch Africa. We say congratulations to you, sir. Sit back as we bring you what transpired at the force headquarters during the decoration ceremony.
The decoration ceremony of the newly promoted commissioners of police to Assistant Inspector General of Police of the Nigerian Police Force is in line with the promise of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Muhammad Adamu, after assuming office as the helmsman of the police in Nigeria, to introduce new policing strategies that will help solve the internal security challenges the country is faced with. The IGP during the brief ceremony reiterated the determination of the police force to ensure every part of Nigeria is safe and secured, especially with the upcoming Christmas and New Year celebrations, stating that getting the best hands on board is a critical part of achieving his vision for the Nigerian police force.
You will recall, ladies and gentlemen, that on my assumption of duty, I am placed to address the internal security challenges that are inherited by evolving new policing strategies and identifying quality and dedicated officers to support me in the implementation of such initiatives. This leadership focus was influenced by my conviction that no organization can advance beyond the capacity, dedication, and the competence of its strategic leaders. Neither can any organizational vision and plans be attained without a crop of highly committed personnel to drive the implementation process. I hold the firm conviction that these newly promoted officers represent some of the finest officers in the Nigeria Police and are the right set of officers to support me in the advancement of my leadership trust. I have no doubt that they shall support us in our determination to alter the narratives of the Nigeria Police for good.
The elevation of the 13 officers to the rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police, the IGP said, is based on loyalty, hard work, and dedication to duties. These officers are AIG Dambature, AIG Hesinde Kimo Musa, AIG Yunana Y Babas, AIG Damala Mohammed, AIG Mwazu Zuberu, AIG Rabiu Yusuf, and AIG Ahmed Ilyasu. Others are AIG Mohammed Ubakaru, AIG Zaki Ahmed, AIG Zamabala Sanchi, AIG Bello A. Sadiq, AIG Austin Agbolahon, and AIG Lawal Ado. The IGP, however, charged the newly promoted officers to put in their best to tackle the challenges of insecurity in the country and that their promotion is a call to greater service to their country.
Let me, however, remind the promotees that to whom much is given, much more shall be demanded. Crime, as you know, is a dynamic and increasingly complex phenomenon. Within the Nigerian context, we inherited some internal security threats touching on banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, cybercrime, and cultism, among others. However, the engagement of community-driven, intelligence-led, and technology-guided policing strategies, as well as the renewed commitment of personnel of the Nigeria Police to their mandates, have combined to engender a drastic reduction in these crimes across the country. In order to sustain this achievement, some of you, the newly promoted officers, shall be deployed to critical policing posts where your strength of character and professionalism shall be optimally tested. In the discharge of your duties, however, you should appreciate that modern policing is no longer driven by the application of brute force, but the deployment of intellect, respect for extant laws, civility to citizens, knowledge, and sound professional judgment. The Nigerian Police and indeed the entire citizens of our beloved nation shall, therefore, be looking up to you to manifest these qualities as you assume the responsibilities attached to your new career status. I trust that you shall not fail the force, neither will you fail the nation in this onerous national duty.
High point of the ceremony was the decoration of the newly promoted officers with their new ranks amidst cheers from colleagues and loved ones.
In charge of the Special Protection Unit, illustrated he has attended United Nations Verification Mission 3 course.
Shuli Daniels, Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Welcome back. Congratulations to the appointees, to the promotees. And we must say that, like the IG said, the charge is given, and we expect the best from you all. Yeah, if you're just joining us, this is your program, Security Watch Africa. Welcome to the program on this channel. Yeah, you can communicate or dialogue with us, or let us have an interaction with you via our social media platforms. Facebook, go to facebook.com and look for Security Watch Africa. Send us a comment, your view, or your questions. We can communicate with you. Or go to Twitter, twitter.com. At SecurityWatch97, at SecurityWatch97. Follow us and send your views to us. You can also send your email via secwatchafrica1997@gmail.com. secwatchafrica1997@gmail.com. Send us your comment or your view or what you think we should do to improve security in our continent, Africa. You can also you can also watch the previous editions of this program on our YouTube channel, Security Watch Africa. Visit YouTube and see the other previous programs we have done on this program. Welcome. Like I said earlier, we were in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, for our 16th edition of the awards and conference series. It was an exciting period. Africa was indeed celebrated globally. We have a sneak preview, or what I could call teaser, to what happened, especially for the award night. Sit back as we bring you this. Yeah, welcome back. It's such a glamorous evening, you must say. Those who turned up really enjoyed their evening, and we want to do it again. Next year will be another edition, so plan to be part of it all, and we'll give you a better event. Yes, quickly, before the award night, there was the conference series, and really where Africans discussed next week we'll be bringing you the communique of what took place, of the proceedings of the conference. But let's give you what Nigerian Army, I must say, was celebrated even at the conference and at the award night. There was a presentation made by the Chief of Civil Military Affairs of the Nigerian Army, talking about Major General U.S. Mohammed, where he talked about a non-kinetic approach to tackling terrorism and insurgency. Sit back as we bring you parts of his presentation.
Actually, kinetic refers to movement in physics, but non-kinetic, that means lack of movement or no movement at all. But in this context, non-kinetic is referred to soft power approach that does not rely on the application of force or violence to influence the enemy's decision-making or cohesion in order to achieve a military or set political end. What I'm trying to say here is that when you say kinetic, that means you are using all available military force or means to bring a conflict to an end. But non-kinetic refers to any other thing outside the use of violence. So this slide may not necessarily capture it well, but it's just one of the means dialogue. So it's just on the screen there just for you to understand, just to put it into perspective. Now, having taken a look at the key concepts, I will now go to the first point, which is de-radicalization of the terrorist. One of the means by which the Nigerian Army has tended to address the issue of terrorism and insurgency is the de-radicalization of the terrorist. One of the most challenging issues in the fight against terrorism is the path to which unsuspecting youths take towards violent extremism in Nigeria. Many of them are deceived. Many of them are not conversant with the religion, so it is very easy to deceive them and for them to have a kind of like the base kind of ideology towards the religion. So many of them, they join these terrorist groups or easily get recruited because they don't really understand what they are doing and they are ready to die for the cause. They are believing that if they die, they go to heaven. So you are facing an enemy who is rather, he wants to even die. Meanwhile, you are torn between trying to protect yourself and also defeating that enemy. So, and you are now facing that particular enemy who wants to even die. So, a lot has to be done in terms of de-radicalization. So, and we are doing that. So, one of the main objectives of this is to engage violent extremist suspects in theological, ideological, physical, and entrepreneurial value chain that will lead to a change in their values, beliefs, and behavior. So we are trying to do this so that to change their perspective and also defeat the ideology, because if you do not defeat the ideology, it lives on. It's something intangible, and it lives on, and they keep propagating and distributing this skewed or dangerous ideology. So the Nigerian Army, what we have done is through the Directorate of Islamic Affairs, and as part of the civil military relations in conjunction with other relevant government ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as religious and community leaders and non-governmental organizations, have developed community-based reintegration program, counter-narrative and de-radicalization campaign. So what we are essentially saying is that we have partnered with many religious bodies, traditional rulers, and the like, so that we try to change the narrative and change the ideology so that they understand that, look, all these things that you are being taught or you are being told is not going to lead you anywhere, and it's not actually projecting the religion the way it is. So many of them who get caught up in this are actually not, they don't really understand the religion, and they are being used without them even knowing that they are used for what they are involved in. And some of these aspects is actually being accentuated or even driven by use of drugs, hard drugs, psychotropic substances, and the like, to further the cause of those who are driving this particular issue. Next is quick impact projects within the affected areas. Let me just quickly give a small synopsis of what quick impact projects are. Quick impact projects are small-scale, low-cost projects that are planned and implemented within a very short time frame. So what we do is to carry out very impactful projects within affected communities that will touch on the lives of the average citizen within the area. It could be medical outreach, it could be water project, it could be a road project, it could be a health facility, and this has actually been very impactful.
Welcome back. Time will not permit us to continue with this presentation, but it was really an interesting period. But next week we'll give you more detail about this quick impact project that he talked about. We'll give you a report about what the Army is doing concerning the quick impact project. Sadly, we must leave other programs to continue, but make use of our social media platform. Get back to us so that we can relate and interact with you. Until we come away again next week, I will say thanks for staying tuned and bye for now.